Hello everyone, it is Thursday, and that means it's time for another draft video. I post one every Monday and Thursday, and still we're doing Ixalan. Soon we'll be taking a little break into Iconic Masters, but that's still a few weeks away. This is a pretty strong pack, I have to say. Dreamcaller Siren is excellent. I think it is what we take here. It's just a very powerful card. It represents a lot of damage in the air, and it has all this added pirate upside. Deathless Ancient is a pretty good vampire deck card. Shapers of Nature is one of the few gold cards I'm willing to first pick in this pack. I've first picked Unfriendly Fire before and not hated myself for it. And then there's two really good cards for the Merfolk deck. Skymarch Bloodletters, Siren Lookout, all good things. I wouldn't mind the Plunderers maybe coming back or Siren Lookout, but we're going to take the Siren here. It's a great card. And I think it's better than all of the aforementioned pretty good cards. I think the only one that's really close is Shapers of Nature. But I don't think it's close enough. I've had good experiences with this card. You definitely want to be in a more aggressive deck with it, an aggressive pirate deck, because obviously it can't block. It can block flyers, actually, but that's not going to come up too often. A lot of the times you just want to be tapping down your opponent's dudes at the end of their turn and then just bashing really hard. Okay, so we've got a Water Trap Weaver here, and there's also a Kite Sail Freebooter. I think I do like the Weaver more. It's close. That's really what this pack's between. I already have one blue card, so that makes me lean a little harder on this. This is a pirate, though, which is what Dreamcaller Siren asks for to be at its best. The rest of this pack isn't that great. I like Bonded Horncrest, but the rest of this pack's like filler, or maybe a little more than filler, like Sailor of Means is fine, but Water Trap Weaver is a great card, and we'll take it. We like tapping things, apparently, so far with our two picks. We are interested in tapping things. We could end up in Merfolk. I mean, this is playable even if you end up with 0 other pirates. A 4-mana 3/3 flyer with flash is a pretty great deal. Obviously, I'd like to have like 5-ish, which isn't that hard to do. Merfolk doesn't seem super likely, given the pack we passed had like 3 different cards that are going to make people say, oh, Merfolk might be open. So doesn't seem super likely that that'll happen, but it could. Dowsing Dagger isn't a card I hate. Might just be what I pick here, because this pack is pretty underwhelming. It's pretty great with evasive creatures. It's fine on non-aggressive evasive creatures. I almost don't even want to flip it most of the time. Sometimes it's nice to flip it. I mean, Shining Aerosaur is fine. Windstrider is another flyer that's perfectly fine. And I could just take it to just stay where we are, because this pack is just underwhelming. I mean, Aerosaur is good, but I don't think it's that much better than Windstrider, honestly. Do I want the Dagger? Dagger or Windstrider? I think that's really what we're looking at here. I think I'm going to take the Strider. Dagger is good, but you do have to make sure you end up in an aggressive enough deck for it to really be worth it. Okay, well, I have recently, I didn't record it, unfortunately, I have recently forced a Explore deck, and it was pretty fun, but I also had the good fortune of not getting paired up against any super aggressive decks. If I do, I don't think it would be very much fun. I think we're just going to stay blue here again, because like the cards here, you know, Depths of Desire. There's a Deadeye Tormentor, Direfleet Interloper, those are good. But Depths of Desire is a good card, and it's blue, and we're just going to take it. We still have no other pirates, but we'll get some. This makes treasure for us, so it can help us splash. But we'll just take the good blue card. Sword Point Diplomacy I don't think is very good. And there's a few playables, but I think Depths of Desire is honestly just the best card in this pack, and we'll take it. Okay. Well, are Merfolk open? We passed a lot of things that are good for a Merfolk deck, so probably not. But I kind of want to take this Kumena's Speaker. Run Aground is good too. But if I take this Speaker, I have a much better chance, and things might wheel. I think I'm going to take the Speaker. Let's see what happens here. Run Aground's good, but I do think it's fairly replaceable. And if I can jump into Merfolk here, I mean, I'm not giving up much. This is a great card for the Vampire deck, but we're not going to If we were in white already or black already, we'd try to go into it. But with what we have, we're not going to try to go into the vampire deck right now. Let's give Merfolk a try, though. Wow, maybe we should try the Merfolk, the vampire deck, huh? Okay. Well, don't really want Opt. I mean, it's fine, but I don't want to take it here. I think I'm just going to take an Inspiring Cleric. Skittering Heartstopper is also an option, and blue-black is a more legit color combination than blue-white is, so I should probably take the Heartstopper, even though I think the Cleric's better. Blue-white doesn't really exist in this. There's not a gold uncommon. There's not a lot of synergy. You can try to build a favorable winds deck, but that's basically it. Let's take the Heartstopper. Another Deep-Root Waters. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. I could take Shaper Apprentice or One with the Wind. Shaper Apprentice will make the cut basically no matter what. We already have a few Merfolk. One with the Wind probably will too, though. If I pass this, though, it's even less likely we can play Merfolk. There are two of these, but it's hard to make it work. I think I'm going to take One with the Wind. It's just a great card in this format. If you've been watching me draft a long time, you know normally I'm like, don't take auras. And that's like a big mantra of mine. But in this format, they're actually good because the removal is so mediocre. So these are both fine. Do I want another Depths of Desire, or do I take a dude this time who is actually a pirate? I think I'm going to take the pirate here. Wow. Merfolk is very open. And this is where we're left with an interesting choice, because these both wield. Deadeye Plunderers is good, but these both wield. I'll say it again. All three of these cards wheeling is a very good sign Merfolk is open. So I think I'm going to jump into it now and see if we can actually make it work. And I'd rather have River Herald's Boon than the Apprentice. They're both good, but I'm going to take the Boon. Okay, here we'll take a Sailor of Means. Here we'll take a Dive Down. I think it's pretty good in the Merfolk deck. Those all coming back is a pretty good sign for Merfolk. None of this stuff. I guess cancels at least sideboard card. So far we only have 1, 2, 3 Merfolk, right? But if you can get back... I mean, the only thing that got taken out of... Wow, and that Run Aground came back. Sure. I'm happy to take that super late. I mean, we could still end up shifting into blue-black, which also was relatively open since the blue-black gold card made it back to us. The blue-green gold card didn't make it back to us, but somebody taking that doesn't actually necessarily mean they're heavy into Merfolk. And they could also be splashing it. So we'll just have to see. Let's take this forest here. So we ended up with one other pirate. Okay, so Territory Hammerskull is great, but I don't think that's what we want. I think we want to try to push Merfolk now, which means it's time for some river sneaking. This is obviously a really good card if you can actually ramp into it. Unfriendly Fire is also quite good. We could consider trying to get into blue-red and take the Unfriendly Fire, but I'm pretty convinced Merfolk are open, and when it is open, it is strong. So let's try to make it happen. Hello. I haven't actually gotten to play this card. It is great, though, and it also happens to be a Merfolk. Stormfleet Aerialist is what I would probably take here otherwise over the Sculptor, but this is just a great card. It's one of the few mana sinks in the format, and it'll just run away with the game for you. There is a Pirate's Cutlass here, which I wouldn't mind, but Waker of the Wilds is, in fact, better. Okay, Deadeye Tracker. That sort of pushes me back in the direction of not being Merfolk, I feel like. I could take Unclaimed Territory, but I think I am going to take the Tracker. I don't think this is a deck that wants Colossal Dreadmaw in it. I'm going to take the Tracker just in case we end up back in blue-black Pirates, which is possible. I just don't want it to happen. And the Tracker's pretty great. He's pretty... in the deck where I mentioned that where I forced Explore, I really wish I'd had a repeatable kind of Explore like Deadeye Tracker. It would have been sweet. Okay. Do I just take like a Blossom Dryad here? Or do I take Storm Sculptor? The Sculptor works well with Water Trap Weaver and Dreamcaller Siren, who have entered the battlefield abilities. I think I probably do take the Sculptor over the Dryad. We're just probably not going to be a ramp deck, and it's Merfolk, and we want more of those. Whoever did take the blue-green gold card is also on Merfolk, but I think 2 Merfolk decks can probably be supported here. We'll see, though. We will see. We have a little bit of fixing if we want to splash something. Right now, nothing we want to splash, but that's something to keep in mind. Oh yeah, we actually have Adepts too, so we have 2 pieces of fixing. Siren Storm Tamer is probably just what we take here. It's just a good card. It's a pirate, which matters for one of our cards. Spineback isn't something we want, but it's fun when you're in a deck that wants to do that. And I wouldn't mind an Ixalan's Keeper or another Run Aground, but the Siren Storm Tamer I think is just better. It's just, you know, a 1-mana 1/1 with flying and a bunch of other upside because it can help save your more important creatures in the late game. It's also another pirate for us. Okay, I guess we take Deeproot Warrior. This pack, we're kind of set, I feel like, on 4 drops and bounce spells and stuff. So I'm going to take the Deeproot Warrior, which is just a good Merfolk. We're not actually seeing the Merfolk payoffs anymore, which isn't the greatest news. But we do have a River Sneak and a River Herald's Boon. So, you know, we've got 2 of them already, but generally when I've had this deck be really good, it's when I have like 3 River Herald's Boons. 1 is fewer than I'd like, but you know, we do also have Kamena Speaker, which is a very minor Merfolk payoff. But the thing that's great about it is you can go turn 1 Kamena Speaker, turn 2 1 with the Wind. If you can't kill this in the next couple turns, you're probably dead. So that's always fun. Okay, now there's nothing for us. We don't want Emergent Growth. Teal Ollie's Knight's nice for the deck that wants it, but we're not it. Cobbled Wings isn't very good. I mean, if it were good, it would be in a deck with like dinosaurs, and we're definitely not that. So I think I'm going to take a Heartstopper here. I don't really like Elaborate Fire Cannon either. I'm going to take a Heartstopper for our potential backup plan, but here we go. Okay, do we want River Herald's Boon or Water Trap Weaver? I say we take another Boon. I want as many of them as I can get. I do love Water Trap Weaver, though. Okay, Ixalan's Diviner or Windstrider? Probably just the Diviner. No, it's not a Merfolk, but it is a solid card, and Windstrider is a little costly. Crushing Canopy, a good sideboard card I wouldn't mind getting. Okay, well, there we go. I don't think I want to take another Storm Sculptor. I'm just going to take the Canopy here. Sure. Yeah, we might play 2 Dive Downs. I'll start it over here, I guess. So what this deck can do when it's aggressive enough is like basically just play a ton of creatures that just try to kill our opponent as quickly as possible and protect them with things like Dive Down and River Herald's Boons and things like that to make them too big. So that is a potential plan for us. There's an Emerging Growth. Oh boy. All right, so Merfolk still stayed open enough there that we got a late River Herald's Boon, so that's good news. I'm not sure if people are underrating that card. I don't think they are because it's pretty insane. I wish Contract Killing was easier to splash. I'd think about taking it. Yeah, this pack doesn't offer much for us. We might just take Drover of the Mighty, which is far from exciting in our deck. We don't even have any dinosaurs at this point. It's just a mana dork. It is another way for us to fix. But like the other option is Sailor of Means or Favorable Winds, neither of which are going to be very good. So yeah, we'll take the Drover. Someone who's actually like in dinosaurs is going to be sad we did that, but you know, the pack didn't give us other options. I would have happily taken like a lot of things over Drover of the Mighty. That pack just only had 3 cards in our colors and nothing we're splashing either. But now we can definitely splash with no problem thanks to the Drover. There's a chance it ends up getting cut, though, so we'll see. So give me more Merfolk. The Drover does work nicely with our Waker. So Merfolk-wise, we already have 1, 2, 3. And there's another one with the wind. That might just be what we take. Even if you don't have jungle, what's his name? Jade Guardian. One with the wind is still nuts in a Merfolk deck where you can just play early threats and just slap them on them and put your opponent in a really ugly situation. I could take a Jungle Delver, which is another Merfolk, or a Wind Strider. But I think I'm going to take another one with the wind. Now we probably want the rest of our cards to all be creatures, basically. We are kind of set on auras and ways to protect our guys and bounce. More wouldn't hurt, I guess, but we will see. I do feel like I'm basically always drafting, like in the last few weeks anyway, I'm always in either Merfolk or one of the dinosaur decks. I'm like never in anything else. Well, Shaper Apprentice is coming on board. Danto Vanguard is a great 2-drop. I had these two cards being together is really funny. People always talk about Jade Guardian plus 1 with the wind, right? And that's a gross combo. I had somebody do a Danto Vanguard plus Mark of the Vampire to me in a draft I wasn't recording. The one where I drafted the Explore deck. And that was just as disgusting because I just could not kill this because it was indestructible, and attacking gave my opponent enough life to make it indestructible indefinitely. I haven't seen people talking about that combo as much, probably because it's common and uncommon instead of 2 commons, but it is gross. But yeah, we're taking Shaper Apprentice here. There is our friend Jade Guardian. I think we take it. I do like Stormfleet Aerialist, but with 2-1 with the winds, Jade Guardian seems like the way to go. It's also another Merfolk. Ooh, Deeproot Champion. I don't think I actually have enough non-creature spells for you. I mean, I have 8 right now, I guess. There's also another River Herald's Boon. How many of my non-creature spells are actually going to make the cut? I feel like I'm probably going to cut at least 1 dive down. That might be about it, though. Run aground might get cut. Do I want another Boon or a Deeproot Champion? I haven't gotten to play with this card. And we do have 8 things that will trigger it. And that's probably enough. There's also another Water Trap Weaver, by the way. This pack is just really good for us. I'm going to take the Deeproot Champion. I think our deck has enough non-creature spells that will stay in the deck for it to be worth it. Here's one now. Another Jade Guardian. Over a Water Trap Weaver again, I think that's fine. Siren Lookout. You're not a Merfolk, but you do work in this deck. So I'm probably, honestly, not going to be playing very many Pirates. I'm still going to run my Dreamcaller Siren, I think, but it's going to be a little less good. I probably don't need to run Drover of the Mighty. It does let me play all of these turn 3, so I guess I can keep it in mind. Probably cut 1 dive down. I don't think I can get away with 16 lands with this deck, though. So there's definitely... Yeah, maybe this is gone now. Yeah, this doesn't look like a bad deck. We still have 8 triggers for Deeproot Champion, who works quite well with like River Herald's Boon. Gives me another counter, basically. Yeah. Let's take a rare card. Why not? That was gross, those packs. That the Merfolk payoffs weren't spread out a little more, basically. I'll take a Jungle Delver. Running a Jungle Delver is worth thinking about when you have 1 with the wind. Because turn 1 Delver, turn 2 1 with the wind is pretty potent, but I don't know, we'll see. I could think about just cutting Wind Strider and trying to go with 16 lands, but that seems a little scary. Just a little. But yeah, Merfolk definitely ended up being open in the end. The signs I picked up were correct. For a while, it didn't feel like they were, but then we got all of these goodies. The funny thing is, I've drafted Merfolk several times, many of which you've seen me record, and I've drafted decks with 2-1 with the Winds and 2 Jade Guardians several times. I'm not sure I've ever actually gotten to put 1 with the Wind on a Jade Guardian, which is really weird, but it hasn't happened. We're going to take the Ixalan's Keeper here to find 2-drop. So going to cancel for our sideboard. Take a Deadeye Quartermaster. Why not? Okay, so we got some thinking to do. Oop. I'm not 100% sure taking Deeproot Champion when we did was the right pick. This deck usually wants more creatures than we got in it as well. We passed a lot of Water Trap Weavers and stuff. But in this configuration of the deck, I think it's probably actually fine with 8 triggers for it. And we have to cut something, and it might just be Windstrider. It could also be Siren Lookout, I guess. That would put us at 0 pirates for a Dreamcaller Siren, wouldn't it? I think so. Yeah. Could also just cut Jungle Delver. I think that's actually where we go. So I think this is still worth running. It's not going to be nearly as good as it would have been if we were an actual pirate deck. It's almost never going to tap things, but it still sets up. It's still a pretty good clock in the air. And yeah, I think in the end I'll run Drover of the Mighty because dropping any of these on turn 3 seems pretty nice. Especially like the Jade Guardians or the Waker of the Wilds. So, yeah, I guess I drafted yet another Merfolk deck. Started in with sort of a pirate thing going on, but Merfolk were too open for me to say no. Yeah, I guess 9-8 is probably a little better. Yeah. All right, this shall be the deck, and I'll see you guys in the first match. All right, we would like to play first. I think this hand's okay. Not having green is kind of annoying, but we do have turn 2 River Sneak, Bounce Spell. We have stuff going on. And hopefully, this is definitely a hand where we need to draw like 1 or 2 things, basically for it to work out at its best, but it seems pretty solid. We got 2 unblockable guys. Don't really want to be bouncing my River Sneak. I'd be pretty happy to play the Sneak, though, and then maybe Drover, and then bounce the Drover after it produces some mana for me. Okay. River Sneak. Versus Vampires. Right, that's not really what I'm looking for. I will attack. This is not a race we win because of the dreaded lifelink, but do I play Storm Sculptor next turn? I might. Especially if I can Depths of Desire at the end of my opponent's turn to get green mana. It's going to depend on what they play, what they do, if I want to do that. But that's worth thinking about, I think. Sleek Schooner. That's definitely going to be more fun to bounce. I can't do it now, though. It has to be crude. So I don't think I do it. Ugh. The pain. I think we do just play our Storm Sculptor here, but maybe I don't. Maybe I leave mana up to use Depths of Desire. I don't know. No, I think I'm going to play the Sculptor here, which is admittedly really annoying that that's what we ended up having to do. So opponent can bash us for like 6 here, potentially. Which isn't really what I want to happen, but it seems very likely. No, maybe just 4. I'm a lot happier to take 4. Four is less than 6 anyway. Interesting. We continue to struggle to draw the color of mana we really want. All right, so let us attack with our Sculptor here. So I could use Depths of Desire here, and I might, depending on what my opponent's going to do here. Interesting. God, I wish I had green mana. I could punish that so hard. Wait a second. This is pretty gross. So we're gonna bounce this, make green mana, use River Herald's Boon to put the two counters on to Storm Sculptor. That's our plan here. Okay, so that worked. We do really need green mana, but I think that was well worth it. Opponent has to recast that, and then if they have to crew, all that nonsense. And I have 5 unblockable damage now, so that is a nice bonus. God, I need green mana, though. I need it so freaking badly. Okay. We went 9-8, right? Getting green mana. I mean, just being able to play creatures who can chump block, you know, would be pretty nice right now. I think using the green mana the way we did was optimal because Slash of Talons became a problem and it pushed this into his hand and it left us with a huge unblockable threat. Now, against black and white is when a huge threat is the least good because your opponent frequently has just like a straight up kill or make not matter kind of spell. So we'll see. We do have 6 unblockable damage right now. That's nice. Becomes 8 if I can play one of these things. Opponent has a ton of mana though. I don't, well, less scary than I expected. But he can crew now and he can attack with both of these, which will gain him life, which is very useful for him right now. So is that. So he can hit me for 7 here, right? Yeah. Yep. Hey, I guess Kumena's Speaker is just going to be the best thing for me to play. Just got to leave the blockers back now, though, unfortunately. Skyblade of the Legion. Yeah, that's not great news for us. We're definitely going to bring in Crushing Canopy. He has flyers. He's got at least 1 artifact. I'm sure there's more running around. So, I kind of feel like I need to trade with the Schooner, which really sucks. But I think that gives us the best chance of winning just to do this nonsense. I mean, we're still dead to Skyblade of the Legion, but who knows? Maybe, no, that's not going to work. All right. Well, that game definitely would have gone better if we had green mana earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 9, 8. I think we bring in Crushing Canopy. What do we cut? Maybe a Windstrider. Maybe our Drover, actually, yeah. That does leave us with only 14 creatures, though, which doesn't seem right in a deck with River Herald's Boon in it. It just seems... But I guess cutting Windstrider would have done the same thing. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I would like to play first. Okay. Cards of both colors are good, and 2 non-creature spells with our Deep Root Champion. I mean, lands of both colors is what I mean. Deep Root Champion could do a very good Quirion Dryad impression in this game. If you don't know what card that is, a lot of you probably don't. It's from like Plane Shift. It's one of my favorite old cards, though. It's a 2-mana 1/1 like this who gets a +1/+1 counter anytime you play a non-green spell, basically. Any one of the other colors. And so it's a very interesting card. It was part of decks called Miracle Grow, which were just like blue-green control decks. But the gross part about them is they would just play like this 2-drop on turn 2, counter and kill everything you do for the rest of the game, and their threat would just get bigger and bigger as time went on. That's annoying. That is annoying. What do you take, my Jade Guardian? Because that's not the best, because I can just like Crushing Canopy the freebooter, which I totally would. I mean, if that's what he did, I would use Crushing Canopy on this. It would give me a counter, and I would get back my Jade Guardian to be able to play it on the next turn. So, seems pretty good, I feel like. Our Siren Stormtamer can actually block, not Stormtamer, the one that, the 4-mana 3/3/1, can actually block a lot of our opponent's creatures because they have a bunch of like 1/1, 1/2 flyers running around. So that's nice. It would be worse against most people. Interesting. You wanted Depths of Desire. All the choices you had there. Ooh. That is nice. So I'm tempted to just slap it on my Deep Root Champion right this second, but I don't think that's worth it because I have Jade Guardian in my hand, and that's obviously what you really want to do. So I'm going to attack with Deep Root Champion. There's like no way our opponent blocks first. If they do, we can use Crushing Canopy on this and kill that in combat, but there's no way that's what happens. But we may as well give our opponent the chance to choose to do that, you know. All right, yeah, so we're just going to fire off this Crushing Canopy now. Make it a 2/2. Get back our Depths of Desire. So Jade Guardian, turn 4, and then One with the Wind. It seems pretty good to me. I could try to be cute here and like attack and then plan on using Depths of Desire, but I don't think it's worth doing that. I think we're just going to play Jade Guardian. We're going to start the clock early. We're going to put the counter on the Jade Guardian, of course. We're just going to end the turn. I don't feel like trading my Deep Root Champion when One with the Wind is going to pump up my Deep Root Champion as well, just not as much. We can actually play both next turn, which is not the worst plan. Right? We're not too concerned about much right now. I mean, once you have this combo, Bishop of the Bloodstain doesn't gain you life. It just does damage to me. Yes. Correct. All right, so I'm going to play... I might just play both One with the Winds here. One here. This is a race that is not easy for our opponent now. And then I think I just play the other here. And we attack them for 11, and they're dead next turn unless they can do something about it. So, yeah. We've got 2 Depths of Desires in our hand to bounce Flying Blocker out of the way if that's what we have to do. There's a good chance they can just kill this guy, but he's definitely done what he needed to do. Okay, we're going to take 6. Okay, well, we're just going to attack and see what our opponent does. All right, yep, we got there. Finally got to do that. And I have to say, it felt good. Crushing Canopy was good there. Things just went really well for us in that game. I don't think there's anything else I want to change. I think the single dive down is good. If we're up against an opponent who was like 7 or 8 removal spells, I might bring in a second. Well, that's a hand where it's like, if I draw a forest, it is very strong, but that's it, you know, can't rely on that. All right, I think this is a keep. We actually have both our pirates. That guarantees me the chance to play something on turn 2, but then if I don't draw a land, I think I'd rather draw a land. Sadly. That was a hard choice, though. I mean, obviously, I don't have the guarantee to draw a land, even with what I did, but hopefully we can make it work, make something happen here. Ouch. Okay, well, now that would have been a pretty good combo, but we really need that third land. Give us the third land, and in fact, give us a third and then a fourth land, because we can go Siren Lookout, Dreamcaller Siren, which is pretty great. I do not want to lose 2 games here to mediocre mana situations. Ooh. It's a non-creature at least, so if they take our Siren Lookout, you know, they're either gonna take one with the wind or Depths of Desire. Obviously. I think I would take one with the wind if I were my opponent, but that's just me. He also knows now that we're like crossing our fingers to draw a third land here. If we do, things could get really nice for us because we go Lookout, maybe we hit a land, then we can play Dreamcaller Siren, then we can tap things down, start bashing away in the sky, and have some bounce to back it up if we need it. So, but we need it like now or things are going to get ugly. Things are going to get ugly. Why is variance a thing in Magic, you know? I mean, why can't it just be like Hearthstone? Where I just have mana because that's how it works. The good news is my opponent hasn't had a blistering start, but we're not doing anything. So, and that makes things a lot worse for us. So we're in trouble now. We're in trouble even if we do play something now, but if we don't, well, I can play you. I guess that matters. It's not fun. Not fun. The one game, we were probably a little luckier than average in our second game, but it was definitely closer to what this deck should usually do than either of the other 2 games were. So we can flash in Dreamcaller Siren to kill Imperial Aerosaur, but that's kind of a pipe dream. I feel like we're definitely just trading away here. Like, to have any hope here, we've got to thin out our opponent's board and also hope we draw lands. Now, if he has a trick here, and he does, then that's really bad news. Yeah, we're just dead, guys. That's frustrating. If we'd kept our 2-drop, he probably would have Skullduggery'd it in response to one with the wind, but that was stupid. I mean, you lose games that way, and your opponents do too. But obviously, it's not fun for really either person when the game is decided. Like, kind of regardless of what my opponent did, it was decided. But that's okay. I think our deck seems solid. I'll see you guys in the next match. Hopefully, we can do a little better. All right, we're going into the second match of an Ixalan Draft. We're hoping this time that bad luck is nowhere near us. We are missing blue, but this hand is still keepable because we have a 2-drop and a 4-drop that we can play even in a world where we draw 0 islands. So, and hopefully we can draw more than 0. We'll just have to see, though. We'll just have to see. Well, not off to a good start on hitting the island. So, Deeproot Champion, there's an island. That makes my life a lot better. So I'm going to play the Deeproot Champion. Good chance I just play Water Trap Weaver next turn, then Jade Guardian, and then maybe Storm Sculptor later on to get the extra value out of Water Trap Weaver, but we'll see. Skymarch Bloodletter, okay. All right, we're doing it. Yeah, I think we just play Water Trap Weaver here, tap down the Bloodletter, attack for the big 1 damage here. We could think about just playing the Sculptor next turn, and that is worth considering. And just bounce the Water Trap Weaver right away. See what our opponent does. Because, yeah, I mean, setting up an unblockable clock is usually pretty great. If we had one of our One with the Winds in our hand, we would definitely play the Jade Guardian, but we don't. So we'll just have to see. So red-black. Probably a fairly aggressive pirate-heavy deck. Though the opponent did not have a fast start, which was good for us. They started with a 3-drop. So that was good. Wow. Didn't really expect that. Okay, well, we're going to attack with both of these. Yeah, we'll attack with both of them. See what happens. Then I'll play the Sculptor and bounce the Weaver, I think, now. Yeah, this Drover feels so out of place in this deck. Maybe I should just be running Jungle Delver instead. I could definitely see the merit of that. Yeah, we'll play Sculptor here. Does our opponent like kill Water Trap Weaver in response? They might. Ooh, they do. Ooh, they kill their own guy too, but now my guy just goes back to my hand. That's messed up. Yeah, I guess I'll return my Storm Sculptor to my hand. I mean, in the end, it's a 2 for 2, I guess. And it's not really a tempo hit against... It is, but he didn't do anything on his turn other than play that card. Ooh, Lightning Recruit is a bit of a concern. Gotta say. We're just going to play Jade Guardian. We need to get One with the Wind ASAP. Next turn I might just play Drover of the Mighty and then Storm Sculptor and just bounce the Drover. Right, so yeah, we're going to take one, and then they're going to play another pirate. Dire Fleet Hoarder. Yeah, I think that's just what our plan is. I can't even really attack that effectively here. Because then my opponent would be able to attack me. I could see if he has a trick, and then that would give me a chance to use Depths of Desire. But I think I'm just gonna... Oh, what the hell? Let's attack. All it does is open me up to 2 more damage. And if my opponent thinks I have a trick, he just won't block, and I'm perfectly okay with that. If he has a trick, then we play Depths and Drover of the Mighty. If he doesn't have a trick, then we just hang out. Don't do anything. I'm hoping he blocks and tries to kill this. This is a card that you see sometimes, like, and you're like, man, if I can kill that in combat right now, maybe I should do that before it gets to be even more of a problem. But that's not what our opponent did. But I know we've all been in situations where, like, God, I'm sure they have One with the Wind. I have to kill that in combat. And sometimes it's the right thing to do. There it wasn't really. Our opponent's in a secure enough situation that he didn't really have to worry. But, yeah. He forgot. Did he forget to ping me? I think he forgot to ping me. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, Direfleet Hoarder gets in. Okay, 2/2 with first strike. That's fun. And a sleek schooner. Okay. Oh, there we go. That's what we're looking for. Okay. Do we just attack with both? I think we do, because it means our opponent's dead next turn. And our opponent can hit us for some damage, but not enough. And we have Depths of Desire. I think I just leave mana up for that as our, safety hatch, basically. If things get crazy. Not crewing the schooner, huh? Okay. Ooh, they're going to be able to kill this now. Okay. I see what you did there. So this Pyromancer will kill my unblockable dude. Which is not a lot of fun. Okay. Do we Depths of Desire something here? Just to slow down the clock. Because right now, let's say I attack. Then what does my opponent do? He hits me for at least 9. I can't bounce the schooner right now is my problem. But if I just bounce one of these random dudes, not this one, and play Drover of the Mighty, I'll have enough blocking to not die. Yeah, so I think it is what we're just gonna bounce. Yeah, we'll bounce this guy. Why not? All right. Ooh, Jade Guardian number 2 is also just wins me the game, actually, so that's good. We just put the counter on Jade Guardian number 1. And we attack. That should get us there. My opponent can drop us to 9 immediately, but that's obviously not going to matter. All right. On to game 2. So I think we bring in our friend Crushing Canopy again. We saw flyers and a vehicle. And I think we cut out our friend Drover of the Mighty again. Our deck, this is just not the right deck for it. If we were splashing, I could see it, but like, we don't even have anything we're splashing. So I think it may have made it in when it shouldn't have. I may edit my deck after this match if we win this match. If we don't, it's over, obviously. But I may edit my deck after this match and just switch them out. I don't love having 14 creatures in a format like this one, but it's okay. As long as we keep drawing Jade Guardians and one with the wins, you know, it doesn't really matter. Worth keeping in mind, our opponent has Fiery Cannonade, which kills like everything we have over here. And much of it over here as well, actually. I wouldn't mainboard Canopy, by the way. What I mean is I would mainboard a Jungle Delver probably. Or maybe an Ixalan's Diviner. Or Keeper. I don't know. Our opponent did get us a couple times with our Storm Sculptor, but I think we still hang on to it. Okay, this hand is questionable, but I think we do keep it. We've got a 2-drop, we have a 4-drop. It's even got a mana sink in the world. We get completely flooded out. We definitely want to try to like not draw more lands, you know, as hard as we can. Obviously, one actually doesn't have any control over that, but all right, well, we didn't, and now we actually have a 3-drop, so that's actually a pretty good draw, and it's a 3-drop that will, one way or another, make sure lands aren't as much of an issue, because it'll let us draw a land. Our opponent doesn't get to hit anything with their freebooter. I don't mind that. They do get to know what's in my hand, and I mind that a little bit, but apart from that. All right, so we're going to play Deep Root Warrior. And that happens. All right, they're probably about to get some sort of raid trigger. Yep, that's the one. Okay, well, we attack. This actually gets big enough that that can't kill it in combat. So if that actually, if our opponent like doesn't read the card, you could have Skullduggery, which would be gross, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. I don't hate trading this for a Skullduggery. Now they're just going to take 2. And I'm going to play Siren Lookout. And what I actually hope is that it gets to be a 2-3, which is obviously going to be a little better for us, but whatever it does, that's okay. Yeah, it hit us a land. Opponent knows all the cards in our hand except for Shaper Apprentice. We take 2. Interloper. Fire Cannon Blast is on top of their library. Good to know. Good to know. It's just going to eat a Fire Cannon Blast, but I think we just basically agree to that trade. Yeah, let's just play our Waker here. We could attack, but I think being able to double block the Direfleet Interloper and keep one of our guys alive is probably worth it. I'm just assuming Fire Cannon Blast is coming our way. Yep. So we really hope our opponent doesn't have Skullduggery. If he's just attacking with that, then we don't have to block at all. Nope, he's attacking with both. Skullduggery seems so likely here, doesn't it? Let's sort of play around it, I guess, by just chumping this. One with the wind, not as potent as usual, but not bad. We're just gonna stick this here. And we're also gonna play Shaper Apprentice, who dies so hard to Skullduggery. And we are just going to pass our turn, unfortunately. We can't really go on the offensive here. That's not a race we win. Skullduggery. All right. Well, I'm going to block here. Just take the rest. Ah, sure strike. That's even worse. Okay. In this situation, it is anyway. Okay. Not much we can do to get out of this. Yeah, we're pretty dead. What do we draw? Not going to do it. All right, on to game 3. All right, well, I think this hand is another keep. It's not an excellent one by any means, but it's fine. I have a couple. We have one of our bounce spells. We have a Siren Lookout. Having a 3-drop on the play is fine. I mean, if we were on the draw, it wouldn't be so fine. But ooh, now things get interesting because we can do Jade Guardian 1 with the wind. Don't do anything yet though. We just play Siren Lookout next turn. All right. Probably about to get a Cutlass on it. I mean, that's my guess. But we're going to play our Lookout. Hit another land. It's not what I wanted to be doing either time, but, I'll take it. So yeah, Cutlass here puts us in a scary place. Okay, Sleek Schooner, a little less scary. Still scary, but a lot less scary. Cutlass means we're just taking all kinds of crazy damage. Right, I'm going to attack with my Lookout, and I'm going to play Jade Guardian. It will put a counter on itself and in the turn. So next turn we have Depths and 1 with the wind up. That's pretty good. Like, this is a pretty close race right now because our opponent can hit us so hard, but Depths will enable us, I think, to win this race in the end. Yeah, I mean, we're just taking 4 here. Yep. All right, they did not play anything scary, and we drew another bounce spell, so I'm pretty happy about that. So we're just going to do 1 with the wind here and swing for 6. Do I cast Depths of Desire on his Schooner this time? I think I probably do. If he crews it. If he doesn't crew it, then I don't, obviously. Okay, that might actually be a better thing to bounce with as high of a mana cost as it has, so we'll think about that. All right, they didn't get what they wanted either, I don't think, so that's good. Okay, so this does hit harder, doesn't it? I guess that's enough of a reason. Yeah, we'll just go Depths of Desire. He has to play it again if he wants to even be able to attack with his Castaways next turn, and that is a relevant piece of information. Ooh, Storm Tamer makes things even nicer for us. It actually will make it so we can swing for lethal next turn. Oh yeah, we do have this pirate too. I was cutting myself short when I said I only had 2 pirates. I have 3. Selling myself short? I think that's the phrase. Yeah, so we'll play Storm Tamer. And now we just have lethal in the air. We have Run Aground to back us up, so we're in great shape. Yeah, you had to play that schooner again just to be able to attack. So, all right, we got there. We got to one with the wind our way to victory, which is admittedly, you know, kind of an annoying thing about this format when you're the one playing against it. And, you know, it is a nice little 2-card combo. I kind of wish it didn't exist in the format, at least not at common. But hey, got us a win. I'll see you guys in the next match. All right, we're in the last match. We are on the draw, and I think because of that, this is a keep. We've already got a 2-drop, so yeah, I think this is a keep. Things could definitely go really badly, but there's a decent chance. I mean, the one thing that's not great about this hand is we kind of need to hit 2 lands. We hit 1. 1 land isn't going to be enough. We kind of need 2. But if we do, we're in really good shape, I think. Oh, that 2-drop from hell. Shaper Apprentice and Adonto Vanguard are both pretty gross 2-drops. But Adonto Vanguard definitely wins. It's an uncommon, so it should. Just hits so hard, and it's so difficult to kill, and it has a useful creature type. So all of that together makes for not a lot of fun. We take 3. What else does our opponent have for us? Fell Flagship, huh? All right, we did hit the land we needed. I wish I had a pirate so bad. Yeah, we're just gonna end our turn. Oh, well, actually I'm gonna attack. Then I'm gonna end my turn. We've played opponents so far who had enough flyers that our Dreamcaller Siren actually could like flash in and eat them. We've been lucky in that sense. This time around, I don't know if we're going to get to. We never got to play our Siren, so it hasn't actually mattered, but I felt better about having it in my deck or in my hand because I'm like, yeah, I could flash this in and kill like 6 or 7 creatures in your deck. So our opponent got to be a pirate deck, right? I mean, despite the fact that they are gross. Heartless Pillage, really? I haven't actually had that cast against me, but good. Keep that in mind. What do I cast Depths of Desire on? It might just be the Flagship. I love making people recast vehicles is a big tempo hit because like it doesn't do anything for a whole turn in a greater sense than creatures. Like it's much harder for them to crew, and you know that we also don't want to have to discard a card, so I think that's where we go here. I think that's where we go. See you later. So we take another 3. We do have mana for Windstrider. Thanks to this. But I think I probably just play Jade Guardian. Well, maybe I don't. None of it's very good. None of them can actually effectively block any of this nonsense. But I guess if I draw one with the wind, I'd rather have Jade Guardian play. I guess I also could have left open the option of Windstrider, but we're going to put that counter there. And we're just going to attack again because this thing can't block worth the damn anyway. So we're going to take like 7 this turn. It's a hard race for us to win, even with 2 creatures with flash and a bounce spell. Hand turned out pretty well, considering the hand we kept. Oh yeah, they put the Heartless Pillage in their graveyard, which I think makes sense. So Flagship, yes. And now I take 7 damage. Why don't either of these have flying? Come on. All right. There's one with the wind. That's part of the puzzle here. We have mana for Run Aground. Do I just smash for 7 here? I also have mana for Dreamcaller Siren, so if he doesn't kill me this turn, by the end of his turn, I could just flash in Dreamcaller Siren, and that would be lethal. But yeah, I think we attack with both. Run Aground will keep us, I think will keep us alive. Actually, now that I look at it, that might have been a mistake. No, I can go to 1 here. I'll go to 1 here, yeah. Interesting. So if that's what he's going to do, we have to cast Run Aground now, obviously. What do they have? Double combat trick to kill me? Nope. I really hope they don't play a creature, but I'm sure they will. Oh, Vanquish the Weak. Not a creature, so that's actually... Ooh, that's really good for us. Oh, no, it's not. I mean, it's fine. It's not as good as I was thinking it was initially. This is because I was thinking I could play the Speaker and this and block, but it can't block. All right, let's bring the Thunder. We're going to put our opponent at low enough life that they actually won't be able to regenerate this thing. So we're just going to end the turn and leave up mana for Windstrider here. Yeah, I think that's just better than the Speaker, who can die to way more things. Like if my opponent has Pious Interdiction, it's not going to work on Windstrider. When it comes to combat anyway, it won't work. Do we just get there? I mean, if our opponent can't do 4 to us in any way here, then we really win. We definitely flash in Windstrider and block here, basically no matter what happens, because there's just too many tricks that kill us. And we still have a 5/5 flyer that's going to end the game next turn anyway. I think we go to 1 here. Like if our opponent plays a creature, crews the flagship, attacks with both, we go to 1. Assuming no shenanigans from our opponent. All right, that I think means we win. And our opponent, I think, knows that too. Oh, I guess not, because he can crew this and attack with both, but it's not going to work out. And Windstrider. And we block that. Our opponent, maybe our opponent just pays 4 here. Nope. We'd have to discard a card, and I think we discard our Siren. Oh, whoops. Because it can't block, it's kind of a liability here. So is our opponent going to play the 1 black mana blocker? That would be gross. No, the 1 black mana 5/5 flyer is what I was talking about. That would have been bad news for us because this thing has menace. All right, well, I complained about never getting to do this while I was drafting, and now we've gotten to do it, I feel like, every time we've won, basically. So once again, I think we take out our friend Drover of the Mighty and bring in Crushing Canopy. We saw something that's certainly a problem artifact, and there's got to be some flyers, at least a couple of them in our opponent's deck. We haven't gotten to do much with either of our rares, our Waker of the Wilds or Dreamcaller Siren. It has been all about our Jade Guardians. This is a good hand. No Pirate again, but chances of that happening aren't great for us. We will keep. We have 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop though, assuming we draw another island, and it's a pretty aggressive few cards because we play this in turn 2. This taps something. This comes out of nowhere and starts swinging for 3, and we can also protect them. I might actually play the Lookout now in turn 2, especially because turn 3, because I have Dreamcaller Siren. So we'll be set up really well here, I think. Yep, we even hit the land now. So we're going to play a Deeproot Warrior. Oh, our opponent's mana screwed. Sorry, man. We had it happen to us one game. And I certainly, especially because I'm recording, I always want the game to actually be like, there's always going to be variance, but for people to at least get like 4 lands every game. If that could happen every game, I'd be cool with it in some sense. I know that variance is important because it puts some emphasis on the actual deck building. I think we probably want that on top, yeah. In a way that it wouldn't otherwise, and I think that's important, but in limited sometimes there's just games, I don't know, 15-20% of games are just games where one of the players doesn't get to play, and that can be very frustrating. That's what our opponent is experiencing right now. I think we play Dreamcaller Siren just to keep the clock up here. We're not going to actually tap anything with it, even though we actually got our other pirate in play, but we might. Oh, they got their 3rd land. Maybe we'll get to tap something. No? No tapping. And we're just going to play Dreamcaller Siren here. And that means our opponent's on a 2-turn clock. Shouldn't be that hard to say. Tap up to 2 target non-land permanents. Okay, let's tap these guys. Ooh. Okay. Opponent doesn't have no fight in him. I see. Vanquishing the weak like that. Oh. Do I just won with the win now? I don't actually think I do. Well, I might. No. I'm going to attack, and then I'm going to play Deeproot Champion and leave up mana for Dive Down. And then next turn... Yeah, next turn I can play one with the wind. I could play it now for sure. And maybe I should just put my boot. Yeah, okay. We're just going for it here. Put our boot on our opponent's neck is what I'm saying here. Just, yeah, and that's enough to end it. All right, well, we did end up going 2-1 in the end. We won 1 game from our opponent's horrendous mana screw, and we lost a match because 2 of our games were pretty bad mana screw, unfortunately. But the deck was good. I love Merfolk when it comes together. I think it's my favorite deck in the format, and I finally got to do Jade Guardian 1 with the win. So thanks for watching. Don't forget my content's sponsored by 5colorcombo.com. You can buy a lot of sweet Magic accessories there. You can buy cards, not cards, but tokens, cool original art tokens, skeleton tokens, zombie tokens, all those cool things. And you can also buy playmats, among other things. And you can use my discount code NITSAHON5 there to get a 5% discount.